I think that we're live, Alex, but we're without John this week, so who knows what's going to happen?
We could just be talking to ourselves for 15 seconds.
We could easily just be talking to ourselves. It could not be recording. It could not be like we just have a chat for an hour and then find out that no, it says live and it's on 30 seconds. So
it'll be fine. Well, if you're watching, as you can tell, this is going to be the least professional of the Welsh chat streams that we've done so far, and we'll probably get told off by Jonathan at the end of it.
Or during. I bet he'll just chime in now in the chat and be like, guys, have you covered the calendar?
Well, on that note, we'll go through our agenda today. We don't have a PowerPoint slide with it all on because we're busy people, but we are going to start with the Welsh SU. We're a better place to start because there have been some updates and it's looking pretty full for up to the end of April 2024. And then we've got an update on the ratings, which we'll have a look at. We've got some results to look at from the Aberystwyth Rapid Play and from the Crew Open, which, again, we'll get told off if we don't mention that. And also some from the Junior Giga Finals. We'll be moving on to Title Tuesday, which both Johan and I played this week. And then we'll finish with Johan's Welsh words. So do stay with us all the way through if you want to learn the latest.
Latest lingo.
Yeah. So should we start with the calendar, Johan?
Yeah. Okay. Share away. Actually, it's my choice, isn't it? It's me.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully everyone can now see the Welsh Just Union calendar.
What's been updated then?
So I believe last week we discussed the Morriston Blitz events they're holding, sort of their summer program. We see these have now appeared on the website with an info tag as well for people interested. And we've got a few events appearing over the summer. So we've got Aberystwyth Rapid Play, which is now past, which we'll go in and have a look at the results of later. South Wales International. And then, everyone, I recommend checking this out because it's pretty much updated all the way through.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff on there now.
Yeah, and I know the Newport Congress in September, which also has the Welsh Under-18 Championships and Seniors, that went live today. So I believe they're now accepting entries for that. And I think they're hoping to sort of tie the venue down for regular congresses. They'd like people to attend.
It's a good one, that. Yeah, really good.
Would you be tempted, Johan?
Well, we went to see Father Christmas there actually this year, so I know the venue well. Both my kids enjoyed seeing Father Christmas there. So
will they enjoy
my sister literally lived like a 5-second walk from there. So and she's moving next week. So gutted. If they're going to have tournaments there like more often, I could have just stayed. But
that's fair. But it looks.
I would be tempted. Yeah, I guess I need to pop back to Wales to play some tournaments, don't I?
You do need to teach us all a lesson, Johan. Keep us humble.
We'll see. But just it's a good excuse to pop back to Wales, isn't it? But yeah, I guess I'm just not used to playing tournaments away from home. I guess it just makes it more expensive, doesn't it? Really.
It does, yeah. It's a Friday night game as well. Obviously, it complicates things as well. Do you prefer a Friday night or do you prefer 3 games on a Saturday, 2 on a Sunday? Do you have a preference?
I don't know. I guess it depends. 3 games in a day is a bit of a squeeze, isn't it? But the Friday nights. Not too bad if you're making a weekend of something, isn't it? And you can get there in time. But
I think it's usually a rush to get there. I think my preference is probably 3 on a Saturday, but then my question will always be: it depends who the third opponent's going to be.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's the third round is often sort of crucial, isn't it? So
yeah. If it's someone who tires easily, then very happy to do so. But it's interesting. I've seen we've even got a tournament in Guernsey on the WCU calendar, which I did
Oh,
play.
yeah.
I played it in 2012, so a long time ago.
I had a little look at that actually. I've obviously got this tournament next week, but I've just been trying to scope out where to play next afterwards. But something like that is sort of potentially appealing, apart from the expense. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do after next week after this tournament's over.
Well, you've got your pick, Joe, and the calendar. 21st of April. There's no excuses for not finding some events on this. Cool. Right, that's calendar done. Won't get told off for that. So, rating-wise, I don't know if we need to go to the website, but we received an update regarding ratings from Pete Heaven. If you're watching, okay. So, I know the ratings are currently being in the process of being updated for the new period, and they're also undertaking an exercise to remove all the inactive players from the website, because there's a lot of people who, Mr. Jameson and Mr. Strugnall, prime examples, who haven't played in Wales for quite a long time, certainly since before the pandemic. And I think there's probably more who've been even less active. So they're undertaking an exercise to get rid of those players as well and give it a general tidy up. So I think it can be expected to be updated soon, but it's obviously quite a lot of work for the rating officers. But yeah, fair play to them.
Has John's rating gone up even more after the weekend? Is that
I think the email said John's won't go in before the international, so it's not gone up yet.
Right.
But he'll probably pick off Mr. Herakis and Mr. Dinley. Might even pick off Mr. Toschek if he 4 to 5. Yeah, maybe. See, we've already given a spoiler when we move on to the crew results. We will just skip them now.
Well, actually, I wasn't 100% sure he would have gained. Would he have gained much? I don't really know what.
Because the English ratings are all really high, right? So someone with a 2,000 feeder rating will probably be 2,200 ECF. So he'll gain way too many points for it, and then he'll just be overrated. So when he next comes, he'll have his rating points taken off him.
Yeah. Feed into Wales then, isn't it? He's down in Wales playing now, isn't he?
He is. South Wales International star.
You're not playing, are you?
I'm not playing, no. The schedule's not particularly kind for me, and I actually wanted to use my leave on other stuff this year.
Yeah.
But we've got round 1 pairings for the South Wales International here.
Okay.
Can I fit them onto one? Yes, I can. So here we have it. So obviously we get the huge mismatches in round 1. Our boy
still showing rating.
Well, that's interesting. Share this tab instead. I don't have to do that when John's hosting. You can now see the pairings?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. Okay. So we have the mismatches in round 1. Our boy's playing Emily Matton, who I believe is quite a young up-and-coming junior.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a nice first pairing then, does it?
It doesn't. So it might be one to keep an eye on.
At least he's got white, so...
Yeah. But, I'm sure you'll have to work. Are there any pairings there that sort of jump out at you, Johan, or players you think?
And English is Emily English or Welsh?
English,
yeah.
So, do you know Charlie's story?
I've heard of the name, yeah.
So he's all over Facebook, and he coaches her, and he bangs on about it sort of all the time. Or I think he used to coach her, and he's still trying to take the credit for her successes, something like that. But
like me with you, is it?
Well, there's not much to take credit for, Johan.
I don't know. There's not many people got to 2,200 in Wales for decades, so
This is true. Well, I'll take it. That sounded like a compliment. I think here what could be interesting. My pick for someone to get an upset in round 1. I think Bob Hearn has excellent drawing chances against David Malaberti. That's my game to watch for round 1. Board 13.
Board 13.
Will it be unlucky for Malaberti?
I'm so out of it now. I don't know. I don't know people that weren't around back in my day.
That's fair.
This I'm looking at the GM on board 2 is playing in Iwan Cave. That's a very Welsh name. Is he Welsh?
So no. So
Yeah. Okay.
Ewan Cave, he's based somewhere on the south coast because I played him in Fareham, which is close to Portsmouth. Anyone watching who's playing the South Wales International, if you play this Ewan Cave guy, he's like an absolute theory buff, and you'll be playing against Stockfish for like 15, 20 moves. So just a little heads up for anyone who.
Right, so he could be doing quite well on move 15 against this GM,
I mean, possibly. The thing is, what Shadal Bashev and Kornave do is they come to international and they'll just play something offbeat opening wise, because you're not going to let someone play opening prep, which is what they do so well, I think, isn't it? But I mean, these two guys, Dominic Gibbs and Ewan Cave, I'd say they're both underrated. So I don't think they'll get results off Shadal Bashev and Kornave, but I think they could be good games, make them competitive. And of course, Duncan McDonald's probably our Welsh. Well, he's not a junior anymore, is he? But let's say Welsh youngster who could maybe spring an upset as well, because he's his Welsh rating sort of 1900 something. So
okay.
I think it falls in the category that you'd expect Boswell to win, right? But if you go in thinking I'm playing a 1600 in round one with white, then that's you can get in trouble when you kind of assume you're going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So I've just spotted actually there's enough like title players to potentially get norms in this tournament.
I would say probably technically, but you'd have to get so lucky with the pairings, right? Because
you kind of, you have to start well and then get a little bit lucky with the pairings as well.
But I think the problem is if we take John as an example, right? So he plays Emily round one, so that's 1800. So that'll get rounded to say 2000 or whatever it gets rounded.
I think it gets rounded to 2200, but for norm purposes. So.
Okay, but then say round two, even if he wins, which is not given, then he'll be playing maybe a David L. Roberts or someone. That's a 1995, and that also hurts your norm chances.
Well, no, you get two people. I think. Well, at least it used to be. You can round two opponents up, right?
So if you one now though,
is it?
We had it with Stephen Jones for NCL season.
Okay.
And he played one guy who was like 1800, and that got rounded. And he had another one who was sort of low 2000s, and it basically screwed his norm chances. So he had to win his game instead of drawing it.
I wonder if that's why. Now that you're saying it, like somebody told me the rule was two, but maybe it was always one, and that's why I didn't get my norm in the European youth, right? Because there was two players I rounded up, and it was only I was only out by a very small fraction, so like maybe that's why. Maybe it was only one, and I was actually out by more. I had not thought about that before, but I'd kind of forgotten that I was getting the rules secondhand, so which is always like potentially wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite always potentially dangerous. But yeah, I believe it's one. But I think people have made norms in the international before. But I think you need to probably win your first 4, 5.
It used to be a bit stronger as well, didn't it? I remember when I played the first few years, it used to be like crazy strong.
It did. Well, I think the last norm was made. There was at least 4 or 5 GMs, and then sort of a few good IMs as well. So, of course, the key player could be Mr. Marashenko, though, right? But because if you think about it, say if he's a potential round 2 opponent for one of these players up here.
I can't believe that Marashenko is only 2000. Like, what has happened there? Like, wow, he's 2043.
He is.
I remember when Kevin used to organise, these all play alls and the internationals and stuff. Then we used to like host Peter. Like he'd come over and so I've never had any like regular coaching from anyone apart from my dad when I was 10. But so I've never really had any coaching. So Peter's probably the person that taught me the most about chess. He used to just sit there eating nuts and say, bad move. Like, he was always quite quiet and just always eating nuts constly.
Always eating nuts. Interesting.
Yeah.
He's a super nice guy, isn't he, Peter?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I learned a lot. I must have learned a lot from him, Like he'd just go over my games basically. But really thoroughly. That was just all the coaching I had really.
So you're taking credit for my successes, and he's taking credit for yours. Is this the?
You probably don't have a clue who I am. So it's probably like, yeah, I taught him all he knows from because essentially, like, he'd stay at our house for a week or something during a tournament that would last a week. So, maybe he helped me prepare in the morning. I don't know. Maybe I don't, like, a little bit. Maybe just some light advice. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that was like kind of a good little deal for everyone, really. Free accommodation and food and stuff for like a bit of coaching.
Actually, that is pretty good. So, he's always welcome, Mr. Marashenko. It's my first I am scalp. So good. And my second I am scalp, actually. Whilst we're on topic. So yeah,
I've never played him, actually.
Have you not?
No.
I'm not sure I'd want to play him at 2043, mind.
No. I mean, that knowledge is still there, right? So, like, he doesn't go away. So, he must have been 2400 at some point.
Oh, yeah.
That knowledge is still inside him. Like, it's just kind of intriguing as to why the rating is 2043 when he's got whatever knowledge he got into 2400 is still there.
Yeah, I think he does tail off. I remember there was a South Wales International. He started and he sort of held one of the GMs to a draw and held another 2400 to a draw when he was still at 2200 I am, and started really well. But by round 7, 8, 9, he was kind of losing to 1800s like blundering material. So I think it like goes off a cliff. And if you do that in every 9-round tournament you're obviously going to lose quite a lot of rating. But yeah,
you wouldn't want to catch him on a good day, would you? Really?
No, definitely not. But it'll be interesting to see how he does. So he gets on. Cool. So that's the international cover. And I guess next Thursday. Actually, I'm not even sure there will be a stream next Thursday. But if there is, then we'll cover the South Wales International in detail.
So it's starting tomorrow, yeah?
Tomorrow, I believe 11 a.m.
Okay.
10 a.m. So
are the games being streamed?
Yes. So
maybe I can do some commentary.
Share this tab instead. Oh no, shit. Okay, so on the Welsh Chess Union website, there's a live chess cloud link.
Okay, yeah.
It's on the calendar. So I guess if we click that, brilliant, then we can see the live pairings, not live games even. So yeah, I'll be watching these while I'm working tomorrow. Definitely.
I might pick a day that I'm free and do some commentary. That might be good. If I can see a bunch of the games.
Awesome. Well, let us know if you do, and I'll tune in and maybe I'll learn something off you, Johan. Who knows?
For a change, yeah.
Cool. So, if we then move on to some results, I need to click share this tab instead. So the Aberystwyth with Rapid Play was held on the weekend.
Someone came all the way from Australia to Aberystwyth.
I'm going to assume that Mary Smith now lives somewhere in Wales or England. Maybe his FIDE profile will shed some light on that.
I mean, why wouldn't you come from Australia to just play Rapid? And
well, quite. So I'd hope he won if he came all the way for that. But and the final pairings after. Have you seen the results, Johan?
I haven't. No, this is going to be like a revealing moment. I think Rudy would win.
You think Rudy would win?
Just because basically it's a handicap for everyone else, isn't it? He plays so quick that it's a useful time limit for him.
Well, first place was shared Rudy and Jane Richmond.
Oh, right. I didn't notice Jane's name there. Actually, she's really very good, isn't she? So.
Jane, can definitely play. So when they played each other, Jane beat Rudy, and then had a couple of draws with Jonathan Bourne and Mary Smith. So,
right.
But yeah, a couple of Welsh players there.
So 5 out of 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So good to see it. Good number of Welsh players. I don't know Thomas Anderson whether he actually came from Scotland to play, but it was good. They attracted a few players from here and there.
Yeah.
How are the entry numbers under 1800 section? Oh, okay, good numbers. 19 players, and actually quite a few of them from my club, I think, as well. So it was won by Matthew Francis, 5 of the 6. There's Chris Enoch, who's the player we always look at on the ratings, where he's improved about 400 points. So
right, okay, yeah. So he's actually like 1,500 or something.
Yeah, and a decent showing here in an under 1,800 section.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, good to see numbers, and there's a beginner section as well. So I don't know if that's for unrated people. 4. Well, AN other 3 players. Okay. It just has board pairings for round 1, so I don't really know what happened here. But yeah, it looks like a good event. I'm glad it was well supported, specifically in the under 1,800 section. So it's interesting to see if they repeat it next year.
Yeah.
We could have a Welsh chess chat meetup there.
Yeah, bit of a trip to Aberystwyth. Good excuse.
Yeah, just both beat John Blackburn, halve out with each other, lose to Rudy, and share second. So that is that, and I almost don't want to go on to this, but we'll go on to the Crew Congress now, which also took place last weekend. Now we can see John Blackburn again. The amount of chess he's playing is putting us to shame at the moment. And we see the final result.
He's sort of just blitzing this bit, isn't he? Really? So.
Yeah, basically, as
we played for ages.
Hardly ever plays. Then it's the big I am during now that we've got a stream. He just wants everyone to talk about it. So. But yeah,
he had quite a good tournament then, didn't he? So who did he draw with? Akshaya or?
Yeah, so Akshaya ended up winning. So I think she only dropped half a point to John, but his results, he beat Athar and Sari in the first game, who I have lost my only meeting with. So he's not a bad player. John Potter as well. He's a player. I think I've seen him scalp a few players. So again, potentially underrated. So
tough tournament then.
Yeah, so I think to start with those two, there was not a given. He'd get to 2 out of 2. So he did do well. I'll give him some credit there. And then he,
I think Akshaya was the she was like a super promising junior, wasn't she? Is that the? Yeah, she was like one of the best in the world. Like,
and she got FM by getting over 2,300 as well.
Okay, I did think that she was a lot stronger because I think Stephanie, the Dutois, the head coach, was the same age as her. So I think if I remember, they were in the same age group, and like she was about I don't know 2,100 ish when she was like 10 or 11, so years old. So which is crazy. Maybe even younger. So yeah, it's kind of odd that she's 21.48 now. She's gone up and down already.
Although clearly still playing pretty well.
She's obviously like underrated. She must have had a few bad tournaments or something. So
yeah, I know her 4NCL season wasn't particularly good because I remember a few mishaps that were broadcast or shared on Twitter at some point. But definitely a good player. And I think chess isn't her main focus because I want to say she's at Cambridge Uni or maybe Oxford.
Yeah, she's certainly like that age now. I know. Yeah.
So I've not seen John's game with Akshaya, but I know he said he was sort of pushing for a bit, but couldn't get the result. He probably thought it was quite a good result. I guess he would have assumed someone would stop Akshaya after that and leave the door open. But after a draw with West's best teammate Stephen Jones,
they kept each other out, stopped each other winning.
They did.
Stephen must have had a tough tournament, really, as well, didn't he? Because I think he played everyone, I think, didn't he? So
well, it's interesting actually, because then if we look at the last round pairings, I know I was sat here refreshing because I was so excited to see how John was going to do. So Stephen had to play black against John in the morning, and black against the top seed in the afternoon. Yeah, but they drew really quickly. I don't know whether even maybe Stephen was slightly better at the opening and Sarakowski bottled it, or they just drew after 6 moves or something. But that went up quickly, and then John got a good win against Jude. I think he's 13. Jude, 20.
Oh no way!
That's
a horrible draw, then, isn't it? You don't want to be playing like super good juniors, I think.
I'm gonna come out and say at 21-20, I'd happily play Jude right now. I think he's an absolute talent and he'll be much better than me in the future. But I would say at the moment there's quite a few holes in his game. In that, I'd rather play Jude than Mike, Stephen, Sarakauskas, Akshaya, sort of that lot.
Yeah.
But I think from what John said, I think he played a pretty nice game to get the win there. And then he was joining me on the refreshing because Akshaya played for quite a long time before she got the win.
Right.
But yeah, I think most importantly for John, he's now got himself back over 2,200. So
what did he gain? 14 points. Very nice.
22-4. So he needs to back it up at the international. But he's only 96 points away from justifying his FM title now.
Has he been 2,300?
No.
Yeah.
He got up to 20. I want to say 2260 something. He'll probably correct me, but he was was making good progress, and I don't know where it all went. So he had a bad tournament in Scotland last year, but I think he was already a bit lower by that point. But I think
it's kind of on the right track then again. So
yeah, and he seems to play he just plays decent chess, doesn't he? He's not very. You get some players who are quite hit and miss. I think you know what you're gonna get with John.
He's sort of very capable of a very good game. So like that game in the Foreign, like the Foreign CL weekend, the last one, I think generally played really well there. So
his Harriet Hunt game was very nice. Was that the
just a preparation from I just gave him that line, and then he got the position that that we kind of talked about, and he just very smoothly converted it. That was a really nice game.
It was. You've just taken a little bit of credit. So far in the 28 minutes of your scheme, you've taken credit for my entire chess career. John's win against the 2,400. So yeah.
I mean, actually, that I think that's one. I think that's one thing with John's game. I think his opening choice. I mean, essentially his first game that for NCL weekend. It was the opening stopped him from winning. Really, he never had a chance from there, and so it's it was just in the morning when we were preparing, and I was like, "Oh, why didn't you try this?" It's kind of it's kind of the way I like to play now. It's where your opponent can walk a tightrope to a draw, but there's a pretty steep fall off every move apart from the best move. So it's kind of a nice way of playing, I think.
I think so. I think it's sometimes, finding those lines is the hard part. Once you sort of locate them, then and learn them, they could be really useful weapons to have. So we'll follow his program. Well, we won't follow his progress. He'll join some stream in the future and he'll tell everyone about how great he is now. That's talking of greatness. Let's talk about Title Tuesday, Johan. So we obviously played again this week. I mean, I'll let you start. Do you want to talk about how you got on?
Well, I actually, it's the first Title Tuesday I went into thinking, I might as well hide the screen now, is it? Yeah. Oh, you could do. I thought, I'm fresh. The kids slept last night. I've just come back from a run. I thought, yes, here we go. I'm going to get a decent score today. I just got annihilated. I just thought I'm not playing too badly, and I was just losing, getting really high rated opponents losing. There was no relief. While Alex was just just polishing off 2,500s, no problem. I was like, okay, what's going on? And I never caught you, did I? So I actually, you were ahead from round one until the end of me, yeah?
Yeah, true, actually.
Yeah, comfortably. I won my last 3 games just to finish a point behind you, I think.
So you got 5 out of 11. And your best score ever is?
I think I got 6 or 6.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So
actually, my performance rating every Title Tuesday has been pretty much the same. So it's pretty much always 2400. Like,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But,
Do you think playing Title Tuesday actually helps your chess at all?
No. Especially at the moment, because like I'm not like essentially like it's just openings, isn't it? One thing from this week though I was super pleased about was that my problems all came from time. Like I was having issues with time every game, and that to me is like quite a promising sign for my tournament next week. So essentially I've banned myself from playing Blitz, and I've just been doing like very difficult calculation problems, like and that's been my training. So essentially the fact that I was spending too long just on my moves means that at least something is happening there. Like, you know, naturally I'm thinking a bit more. Too much for Blitz, but hopefully okay for a decent, like, proper game.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. You've got to have your priorities. I mean, Title Tuesday is pretty important, but if it means if finishing a point behind me means that you have a good tournament, then I guess it's worth it overall.
Yeah, it's all about, like, for me, like, it's just all about trying to play well this tournament next week. Like, that's what everything's been about. So I mean, after next week I think I'll start playing my decent openings in Title Tuesday, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
It'll probably go worse. You'll probably end up
probably, yeah. Yeah. Tell us about yours then, Alex. Have you got any games to show? I've seen a lot of them. There was some really nice sacrifices and stuff.
Yeah, I'd say. I need to reshare. I need to reshare my screen. 1 sec. Tech issue.
Oh, wait a minute. Have I got to share it? Yeah.
No. It's my fault because I pushed unshare, but now is it now shared?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, overall, Title Tuesday, I think only once before I've ever won my first game, because you.
Yeah, it's like it's not. The first game. I think I've never won it actually.
Because obviously my chess.com rating is usually in the high 2200s, low 2300s. You get someone in the 2500 region, and it doesn't even necessarily mean they're better players than you, but it means they're probably better at Blitz than you.
They're quicker, yeah. They're fast, yeah.
They're fast, yeah, true.
Good at like essentially like 3-minute time control. Like there's different skills come in, isn't it? Like you need to be good at your openings, and you need to be fast, and you also just need to be very good at like swindling people when you're losing.
Yeah. Given
that's a skill in itself. Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill to keep going and causing problems, tactical problems.
Yeah, it's true. I think for me, I find that the sharpness is the big one with Title Tuesday. I mean, the difference between I did miserably last week, and I just wasn't seeing anything. Like, and this week I felt as if even when I wasn't doing well in the games, when there was a tactical opportunity, I was actually seeing it pretty quickly. Which I guess comes from doing puzzles. So yeah, I mean, overall Title Tuesday, I'd say there were some games I was a bit lucky in, some I was unlucky in. But they kind of balance each other out. I think that the ones you deserve to win and lose, the ones you deserve to lose win. But the first two games I think were the best ones. So I'll show my first round game, and anyone who knows me, you might want to prepare yourself here, put your seatbelt on, because you're thinking.
Well, I thought it was a mouse slip when I saw the game. I thought, he's tried to pop it on C6, and
I did indeed play a Sicilian, and I think I was in uni the last time I played a Sicilian. I think over the board, and I graduated in 2016, so it's been a while. And I don't know. I don't even. If you went knight f3, I don't even know what I was going to do. So it's kind of.
Well, I suggested the 4-knight Sicilian to you. I remember it was like towards the end of when I was.
Yeah, I did play that for a while.
Like when we were working together, wasn't it? I think I suggested. Yeah,
I got decent results with it overall. It's quite fashionable these days as well, actually, the 4-knights Sicilian. But I think for a while I was playing Sveshnikovs and Kalashnikovs as well.
Okay.
But nobody ever goes d4, right? Every single one of my games used to go like knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. And
yeah.
all
Yeah.
that nonsense.
Everyone used to play knight c3 against me. I used to do my head in.
What, move 2 or move 3?
Move 3, and then because they knew the Kalashnikov was coming, and I had like superb results to the Kalashnikov. Nobody wanted to face it. You just play knight c3, and then you go d4 next move, and I'm like, oh, every time, like every single time, and then I remember I was playing a tournament in Spain, and like I was playing against a grandmaster, and we went over the game afterwards, and he was like, yeah, I didn't want to play against that Kalashnikov. Like, it's like, well, you're GM. Just beat me with that.
I mean, that is pretty annoying if people can just like full on ignore it, like just go around and do it with the move.
Well, there's no way around it. You just, and they're not losing anything much by playing knight c3. You know, just,
yeah, that's interesting. Well, there we are. If you ever play against a Kalashnikov player, go 3 knight c3, and you're sorted. Cool. Well, luckily, this guy played a Grand Prix attack, and this is how you know he's just a spawny blitz player, isn't it? All he wants to do is go for some attack. He's not going to play proper chess. But it's good. It's d5. I mean, black's already, I reckon, a little bit better. Well, that's certainly equal, right? Like, bishop b5 check. I mean, I didn't really remember any of this, but probably I should go knight c6. But
probably knight c6 there. I'm not sure, but you've got to be super careful actually in this line. You're really careful. You can easily lose very quickly as black.
Yeah,
but if you remember what to do, it's actually you're doing very well. So.
Well, so I remember actually, like after e takes d. Now I'm happy because I remember the line in here after takes first, then bishop b5 check. So maybe white has something better to do here, d3 or something. But I remember this being fine. Queen e2 check, and I didn't really know anymore what to do. But I was like, okay, bishop e7, whatever. Like, I mean, I just didn't believe. I mean, I didn't miss he could go knight d5. I saw he could do it, but I thought, like, his king's going to be a bit airy, right? So he takes, check knight c6. I was sort of like willing him to take on b7.
The Avalbar just like rebounded there. I thought it didn't like it, but it's just come back. Yeah,
I mean, he's kind of, I don't know, like, I mean, it's obviously fine for white, but his knight's hanging and it's a little bit awkward. I mean, I don't know if he maybe should take on e7 or something, but then he hasn't developed anything. Oh, he did. Oh, queen takes check. Yeah, knight e2.
See, I didn't like that.
Yeah, now the engine thinks so much. But I mean, I guess I guess he wants
queen
e2.
Yeah,
it's okay. It makes sense. But even queen e2, like knight d4, I've got a fair bit of comp for that board, right? But yeah, knight e2, knight f6.
That must have missed something, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe,
probably a6. Yeah,
I was
a6?
thinking something like this. Yeah, I feel entitled Tuesday. I lose so many games by leaving my king in the middle. I think I even this week, and I just let's go knight f6 and castles because there's no more annoying a game than just because it happens so often and. Yeah, they don't even have to necessarily be good players to do it against you. If you leave the king in the middle, you get punished. Oh, I do. Okay, but I'm only one move away. A6, queen d3.
You feel a bit safer when you're one move away, don't you?
Yeah. And now I've got a tempo with all my moves. Queen f3, knight takes c2, one castles. And here, obviously, I'm pretty happy. It's because issues developing and like all my pieces are kind of doing something, like or they can very easily. b3, okay, d8. Bishop b2, just knight d4, just blunts it. He goes knight g3. Again, he's played the Grand Prix attack, and his pawn looks just a bit silly on f4. It's one of those, isn't it? If his pawn's on f2, he's
fine. Much better. Yeah,
probably equal then, but it's just one more weakness, like around his king. Knight g3, knight d4, just good stuff. Queen d3, knight g4. Come in some active squares. He goes bishop b2.
Yeah, he's not sensing the danger there.
he's not. But so anybody watching, whether live, I'm going to give you just a bit of time to think what you play here as black, and not even just the next move, but also sort of the follow up and what your idea here is black to try and win the game. I mean, if you're watching live, feel free to pop a solution in the chat. Oh, did I come off?
I think doing puzzles, like you just feel more sharp, don't you? Like it's just I can just see it happen. You can just see things happening. Like I listened to a podcast, Caruana with had Judy Polgar on, and she was just saying, like, the reason she was what she was just because she can just see patterns, like just see things happening, the way the pieces work together, and just see tactics just like move way before they happen. It's just from doing puzzles over and over.
Yeah, and I think it definitely comes in useful, because I think it's sort of doing tactics and puzzles, the one aspect of the game that will come in useful always. That, for example, learning theory will only come in useful in an opening. Learning a theoretical ending will only come in useful in endgame. But you have tactics in the opening, the middle game, and actually a lot in end games as well. So definitely good distinction.
Well, it trains the two parts that essentially chess is just pattern recognition and calculation, and it does both, doesn't it? So
yeah, that's true. Cool. So if you're watching on record and want a bit more time, you can pause the video. But hopefully now people will have seen that we play Queen H4 here, and you might think that's pretty easy to see. But when you play Queen H4, you have to see what your response is to H3 as well, because if you haven't got a good plan, you're going to lose your knight, or you're going to retreat the knight, and then if you're retreating, actually, what's your queen doing on H4? So here we need to see that we're going to play Queen takes G3, temporarily sacrificing the queen. White pretty much has to take back, or it's just going to be a piece down, or actually you'll probably get checkmated still. So queen takes G3, knight E2, check, and I think what's extra nice in the position is that knight stops the king coming to F2 and H2. So I'm not even just winning an exchange; I'm winning a full rook after King H1.
Kind of rare when that happens, isn't it? Like just winning everything.
Yeah, and but I was still a bit nervous here because he went King G1. I was like, he's going to make me play on a rook up, and I know I've still got a minute, but bad things can happen. Like, you always have those nerves. So after taking knight F6, he did resign with his 4 seconds left, which was some relief. But I would like to think I'd convert this without issue.
55 seconds, you got enough time, haven't you? So
yeah, I'd like to think so. So that was round 1. I think he's so like a high 2200s player. So decent, nice result round 1. And then round 2, brilliant. I got paired.
Oh yeah, the end of this game was good. So you started with 2 blacks as well.
Yeah, usually I get so many whites at the start, and I'm like loving life, playing my London systems over and over again. But yeah, 2 blacks was a bit harsh. And this guy, he's an FM, but he's feeding is 24-14. Like, he's pretty serious player. So yeah, whilst I've maybe once before in my first game, I've never won 2 out of 2 at the start.
Yeah, when you said you were on 2 out of 2, I thought, we're going to be playing like Carlsen or something next. But
what I thought my best hope was, when you get to 2 out of 2, is that you're the worst player on 2 out of 2, and you float down and play the best person on 1.5. Because then that's probably going to be, because all the best players have ever played over the board being down floats to place like 2600s on a point less than me, or half a point less than me. But no such luck on this. I mean, I still got battered in round 3, but also it was like a 2500 GM, which in this tournament isn't so strong. So here it was time on move 2 to try another move I've never played before with knight D7. I did at least look at this once, but I don't know. He went D4, knight B6, and I've seen people play it. It looks cool. It's one of these where he's played a move like A4, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to think because I have to play A5, right? I just get squashed. So
yeah,
it's kind of, and now I'm already thinking, well, just playing by myself, but everyone knows where I love my pawn, so C6. I get my pawn chain going. I haven't missed the chance to get a pawn chain in round 1. Obviously, I can't miss the opportunity again. Played knight c3, which I think is really suspect, actually. This is the sort of move, if I was playing a longer time control, I'd be super happy to see. Because it shouldn't ever go anywhere, right? Like, it just looks immediately wrong to me.
I guess it's just to try and get e4 in, isn't it? So he's not going to get c4 in, so...
True. Bishop f5. I don't really like that move, seeing it, but I played it.
I was going to say she could knight h4, yeah. I think c6 probably was, not quite needed at that point for you, but...
yeah, probably not. But even here, knight f6 looks very sensible. Just instead of... And then I can even play bishop g4 later. Like, I don't need to commit to going... Yeah, I can go knight f6, h6. I probably even have time to throw h6 in before I go.
I think I would have just instead, even considered h6 here instead, yeah. So then you can go bishop f5 and drop it back to h7 if he goes knight h4. So
yeah, it does make sense. It does make sense. It's kind of the curse of playing blitz, right?
You're never gonna, you might think of that over the board, but you're not going to instantly react in this 3-minute game here. So
I can tell you over the board, I'd play c6 pretty damn quickly as well. Bishop f9, knight h4. I was like, I mean, here I probably I was debating going bishop d7, which I think probably is the best move, but I thought bishop g6 just so I thought there's some attacking potential here, and I'm trying to play some dynamic chess at the moment, and it's not succeeding a lot. But I'm trying. I want to play dynamic chess, so I thought open file for the rook.
Yeah.
Then you went e4. Takes knight f6. Takes.
Oh, I loved your square. I loved it.
It's a nice pawn structure. I used to get this when I played my knight f6 carrows before.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Pawn structure, and it's
lots of important squares covered. If you put your king behind it, it's like
it's actually mega.
Like a fortress.
Pieces can never get through it. The one problem is that h4, h5 just undermines it pretty quickly. Like if
I'd be tempted to play say bishop d6 and put king f8 then. Yeah, just leave your rook on the h file.
Well, let's see what brilliant idea I came up with instead. Castles, bishop d6.
Okay. Oh, he's kind of forced you to do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I mean, I was in my head anyway because, well, I mean, even if he doesn't check me, I'm kind of forced to do it, right? I mean, my attacking potential's through this rook, and I don't want to go queenside because I've played c6 and a5, so it's pretty safe on f8. And like if he ever wants to get at it, he's going to have to throw probably his h pawn, and then his king's going to be weak. So. At b3, I mean, here I think my position was okay. It wasn't too sad, but I find on blitz it's very difficult to come up with a plan. Right? It's like probably here, if you're playing
this knight needs to be rerouted now. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
d5.
Good knight d5, isn't it? Yeah, definitely needs to, because here I'd probably have a good think playing over the board. Even if I played sort of this stuff fairly quickly, I'd probably take 10-15 minutes to come up with a plan, how I want to approach it, and find out maybe what exchanges will be favorable. But when you're relying on gut feeling, I mean, queen d7 is pretty bad, isn't it? Because
it
takes away where the knight might want, and like where's it really going? So yeah, not too impressed. c4, bishop b4, rook e3. I mean, rook a8, bishop b2.
Well, it's all worked out quite well for you then, isn't it?
I mean, it's kind of, but I guess the question is, what am I going to do? I mean, my rook on h8 is pretty poor for now. Like it feels like it's going to be a long time till it's really relevant in the game. And my bishop and knight, they're like on squares, but...
Well, the knight comes back. It's your move now, isn't it? You played knight c8, which is a good move, so...
Yeah. Queen f3, knight d6. So yeah, it's getting potential. I've kind of got the f5's probably my good square in the game that I might be able to make something happen on. Rook d1, knight f5, queen c7. Okay, I guess gets it off the diagonal. h4. going for it a bit. Bishop d6. 3. Okay. So yeah, here it's the kind of stage again. I just felt like I was just being outplayed. You know, like you get the feeling sometimes you think, well, if I play knight h6, knight e7, at some point he'll play d5 and he'll just squash me. Like none of my pieces are doing anything. So maybe even in classical, I'd make the same decision here, in that I can either slowly get squashed or I can do something that I know is kind of bad, but gives me chances, and especially in blitz.
It's a good practical decision in this sense, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, a piece for 2 pawns, but suddenly I have 3 pieces that actually are doing things, whereas here I have, well, my pieces aren't doing much at all, and this is going to have to go on the worst square. But yeah, practically stuff's happening. Bishop h2 check, king f1, rook f4. And the king is just a little bit crafty. Queen h3, king g8. So
hoping he takes your bishop, yeah.
Well, see, tactically sharp. I mean, position might not even be that bad if he takes on h2.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah,
like that's how good his position probably is. Yeah, really, the plus side is my king is now super safe. That he can never crack it with pawns, and his pieces are never getting through these. So I don't have to worry about getting checkmated. Just probably have to worry about other stuff. D5, yeah, kind of good move, but again, it just opens the position up. So it gives me maybe some practical chances. Rook e8. And here I was already thinking, like, his king's just got no strength. I just need a way to open it up because I've cut him off the e file. He's cut off on g here. If I just
I can't believe his next move. That was just shocking.
White plays queen d7 here.
Incredible.
Yeah, the evaluation bar is just spoken volumes. But again, if you're watching, please do try and find the best move here for black. And again, well, black best move or moves, and I mean, I think it probably should be quite quick because you don't have many choices to pick from. And yeah, again, with 1 minute 3, I think I'm never missing it. So it would be interesting to see if I.
How quickly did you see it though? Let's have a look. Have a look at the timestamp.
So again, if you're watching on record, if you need more time, you can pause it. So after 4 seconds.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
You can tell I played too much bullet in my lifetime, right? Yeah, rook takes f2, king takes f2, and here I thought that I was being really accurate by playing queen g3 check, but it's actually just the same checkmate whether I go to f4 or to g3. I just basically do one move followed by the other.
Yeah.
And then queen f4, and it'll be mate next turn.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that's the story of how I got to
that was such a nice start, yeah. But to be fair, like the rest of your games are really good as well. I mean, got another 4 points, like so. When you start with 2 out of 2, you're always going to have a tough tournament then, draw wise, aren't you?
Yeah.
Although I was on half out of 4 or something, and I got a 2780, so.
The world was punishing you for something, and it was just not.
Well, yeah. Then I got rewarded by not losing to that person while a queen down.
See, look at we have such high quality games in Title Tuesday. Queen blunders, rook sacks. What more could you want? So yeah, we'll keep plugging away at Title Tuesday when we get time, and hopefully have more to share in the future. Not long left. Johan, have you followed the Women's World Championship match at all yet?
I haven't at all, no. Is it a match, is it? Or I don't even know where it is, see. So
yeah, it's a match. 4th till 24th of July. To be honest, only yesterday did I even find out it was on. I feel like it's been really poorly advertised.
Yeah.
So I'm mainly bringing it up now just to bring it to people's attention, because I imagine a lot of people won't know this is even happening. So yeah.
Who's even playing?
You can't see my.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you were asking questions. I was like, can you not see? But okay, now that makes sense. Yes.
I have to admit I don't even recognize their names. Like
I know you and Jun, and I kind of saw
let you pronounce them, yeah.
Lei Tingje won their candidates tournament they had, which is a weird format. The 2 games so far, they've not been super exciting, but I think lately has been marginally pushing into.
Hmm.
I think the quality is probably a much higher standard than what we saw in the first two games of the men's World Championship.
The men's one was terrible, the quality, but they played so badly, like so badly.
Yeah, I'd say it was top entertainment, but maybe
it was amazing entertainment because you just never knew when the next blunder was coming. But it was just incredible, really. Wow.
Yeah. So
I watched all the men's ones because the commentary was phenomenal, like really, really good. If anybody watching and wants to improve their chess, like it's like having free coaching from super GMs if you watch commentary on the top tournaments.
Who's your favorite commentator, Johan?
Oh, I don't know. Like Caruano is very good. Svidler and Geary, they're all very good.
Svidler and when those two are on together, like for me, Svidler, Geary, and Jan Gustafsson. If it's like those three together, that's my dream.
I've not seen Gustafsson or Svidler with Geary, but David Howell's like quite a good, like like a second person. Like he works well with everyone.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of David stuff as well. But I feel like they've got some quite good teams.
Judy Polgar was good as well. Yeah, really good. Yeah, but it's just like, because I've never had any coaching. Like it was quite good to watch them because they would be explaining their thought processes, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I try to do, but just not as well. Like, so at least I'm like trying to do the right thing in my head. But so it's kind of reassuring.
That's something. Yeah, I don't think many people are gonna be following the Women's World Championship. Not because it's not interesting, but I think that it starts super early in the morning because I know the games will be finished.
They don't, they don't have, like, when you've got the top commentators on it, then that makes it more accessible to everyone, doesn't it? Because they're explaining to you what's going on and you're learning from it. While if you're just looking at the games, it doesn't mean so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do have decent commentators for this, but I think it's just time-wise because it's in China. I think it's not ideal because I know Alexandra Kostenyuk, who I find her quite annoying, but she's obviously a very good player. Is doing commentary with someone else who's pretty good. But yeah, I'm sure maybe when things get a bit spicier, we'll cover it in a future stream. And Johan, I see we've got 1 minute left, and I don't want to get a slapped wrist from Jonathan. So you have your Welsh word to share with us.
What have we not covered so far? Have we had a queen? Yeah, we haven't had a queen.
I'm going to say no. I don't remember.
Queen is Brenhines.
Brenhines.
Brenhines. Yeah.
And king was a shortened version of that, right?
No. Well, king is Brennan, but as I said last week, because you can't have two B's when you're notating, so we call the king Teirnas, so be a T, and the queen will be a B. So.
Oh, the queen is the one that clashes.
Yeah.
Could you say it one more time, please?
Brenhines.
Brenhines.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for that. So if
there we go, squeezed it in.
Have you done all the pieces now? Can people know?
I think I haven't done bishop. Yeah. So maybe I'll keep bishop under wraps for next week. Yeah.
Well, just to make sure people keep tuning in. Once we'll not get any viewers, Johan.
Yeah, especially in the west and the north, isn't it? So
yeah.
Although they can already speak Welsh, probably. So yeah,
that's true. So it's just that the Cardiff people who make no effort to learn it. Awesome. Any last thoughts from yourself, Johan?
Yeah, this time next week I'll be like, just be sort of on the eve of my tournament, which could be a terrible like punishment or go quite well. I don't like at the moment. I'm not feeling too great about it, but we'll see.
Well, good to see the confidence. You got a week to build it up. But if there's any motivation, Johan, whether you do well or badly, we're going to cover your games on this stream. So you don't want to be embarrassed in front of everyone here. So therefore you have to play well. So we can be like, oh, look, Johan was amazing. Yeah, or at least, I mean, at least gain maybe 7 rating points to sort of get back into that 2300 club. So only 7. Oh, that's a decent aim, right? So either gain 7 or don't lose 93, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it'd be quite hard to lose 93 because it's like an over 2,400 average. So like, actually, I think it's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible. Okay, good.
Take that one off. Cool. Well,
yeah. Well, I'll see you next week then, and thanks for watching. And yeah, well, we'll chat about that later. But
yeah, watch this space for an update about next week. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.